Very good evening once again. Today I am going to discuss with you the different models of atom. We have done the discovery of electron, proton and neutron. Now the time is there that when we have to arrange these different subatomic particles in the structure of atom. And the first model which was given by J.J. Thomson. The model which was given by J.J. Thomson. This is termed as J.J. Thomson atomic model of an atom. If you look at this diagram, he just compared the model of atom with the raisins pudding model, right? Raisins pudding model. What he explained about the structure of the atom, he explained that an atom consists of uniform sphere in which positive charge is spread or is arranged uniformly. Fine, this is a positive charge here, it is spread uniformly. Apart from it, the electrons are embedded into it in such a way as to give the most stable electrostatic arrangement. Means whenever you compare the charge positive and negative, that will be neutral, right? So this was the model by the J.J. Thomson. So this model was much like a cake of positive charge, and you can compare it with the raisins also. This model was compared with the watermelon model also of positive charge. Means the red part of the watermelon will let you know about the positive charge, and the negative part will let you know about the electrons. Fine. So this was the model which was given by J.J. Thomson. But there are many of the limitations, various experimental results which were not confirmed by J.J. Thomson. Firstly, he has not explained about the stability of the atom, that how the electron and positive and the negative charge they are balancing one another. This was not explained at all. He failed to explain the scattering of the alpha particles. Fine, when alpha particles will strike an atom, then what will happen? It has not been explained by him. And even we didn't get any experimental value, just a model, and imagination is there that it is compared with the watermelon model. So there was the next scientist who was Rutherford. You can see here the scientist name was Rutherford, and the co-workers were there when they started working on the model of the structure of the atom. Then they discarded this model due to these limitations, but this model is considered the base for every model of atom. This model is considered the base for every model of an atom. Now let's discuss Rutherford model of an atom. You can look at it, Rutherford model of an atom. What is it? In this model of an atom, what they did, they bombarded or they just made strike a target of atoms by subatomic particles. These projectiles are called alpha particles, right? So alpha particles are high energy positively charged helium ions. I discussed with you in the today's class also that alpha particles are positively charged and they are having the mass equal to the mass of helium, that is 4, and atomic number 2. And in this experiment, a piece of radioactive substance is placed in the lead block. If you see, this is a lead block. In the lead block, there is a radioactive substance, and this radioactive substance is the source of alpha particle emission. So beam of high alpha particles was directed at a thin gold foil. You can see here, this is here a gold foil, and these alpha particles will strike with this gold foil. And after striking with the gold foil, there is one zinc sulfide screen. These alpha particles further will strike with the zinc sulfide screen. In order to detect the alpha particles after scattering, a movable circular screen coated with zinc sulfide is placed around the gold foil. You can see this screen. So when alpha particles strike the zinc sulfide screen, these produce flashes of light. Means whenever there will be bombardment, firstly with the gold foil, then with this zinc sulfide screen, you can find some glowing region here on the zinc sulfide screen. By examining different portions of the screen, it was possible to determine the proportion of the alpha particles which got deflected through various angles. Now we have to just observe what has happened, how the glowing region has been created here. So I just zoom it out. You can see this is a gold foil and the atoms in the gold foil are like this. These are the alpha particles. You can see most of the alpha particles just pass undeflected. You can see straight. And second observation was here, few alpha particles, few alpha rays, these just pass or deflect at small angles. And C part you can see some alpha rays were there which just deflect back, means making the angle here 180 degree. Okay, these just bounce back on the same pathway. So what these observations show? We are talking about here Rutherford model of an atom. These were the few observations, but now what were the observation? If you compare this with this model of an atom, according to Thomson model of an atom, if positive charge of atom was uniformly distributed, we have discussed this, then the positively charged alpha particles with a considerable mass would pass through weak electric field, largely undeflected and slightly deflected. I just want to say here, if it is positively charged and alpha particles just pass through it like this, right? What should be there? There should be the deflections. Deflections should be there, right? Or it should bounce back. These should bounce back. If I consider here, this hole is positively charged, and if alpha rays are also positively charged, it means what will happen? All the rays will just bounce back because it is positively charged, but it will not happen at all. This is happening. So this model is totally discarded from this observation also. Fine. So Rutherford explained the observations. What he concluded: if most of the alpha particles are just moving undeflected, it means most of the region in the structure of the atom is empty. I mean, there is nothing, no charge is available over that. So you can easily say, since most of the alpha particles pass through the gold foil undeflected, so it means that there must be very large empty space here. The very large empty space is there, and alpha particles are positively charged, we know, and have considerable mass. These can be deflected only if these will come close to heavy positive charge mass due to enormous force of repulsion. So you can see here, little bit repulsion is faced here at this region, so it has just deflected at certain angle, and at the center region highest repulsion has been observed. Why so? Because alpha particles are already positively charged. It was thought if these rays are deflected from the center, it means something is there at the center which is positively charged, right? Later on, this positively charged is termed as nucleus in the center. In case of atom, it is termed as nucleus. If I write here, in this way the discovery of the nucleus has also taken place. So all these types of deflection of alpha particles from the atom are shown here. It is clear from this very figure that alpha particles which pass at large distance from the nucleus do not suffer any deflection, right? I have just shown here, this is A, this is B, and this is C at different angles. This clarify that at the center region there is something positively charged, due to which the alpha particles or alpha rays will come back and repulsion will occur. This confirms the presence of the nucleus in the center which is positively charged. Now, if I come that what Rutherford has told about the model of the atom, then in the atom you can see the entire mass and the positive charge is concentrated in a very small region that is termed as nucleus. Here the entire mass and entire charge, positive charge, is concentrated, and after this the positive charge of the nucleus. Why the positive charge is there? This is due to the presence of the, please note it down, this is due to the presence of the neutrons. This is due to the presence of the neutrons. Positive charge is there, and you know very well this is also the neutron term is discovered by Chadwick. Today I discuss in the class a bombardment of the helium or alpha particles with the beryllium, right? So whenever the protons will combine with neutrons, protons combine Protons plus neutrons. Neutrons, these together are termed as nucleons. These together are termed as nucleons. You should know this. The nucleus is surrounded by, if this is the nucleus, this is surrounded by the electrons, negatively charged electrons, which balance a positive charge on the nucleus. There around it, there are the electrons. So the electrons are not stationary, but these electrons are moving. These electrons are not stationary, the electrons will move. So this was the experiment which was given by Rutherford. The limitations related to this experiment we will discuss in the class. So you just compare the J.J. Thomson model with Rutherford model of an atom. Thank you.